I was never recognized as a dog trainer or even as a human being or even as a person when I walked into events until I walked in with a damn dog.
Yeah.
If I'd have walked in without the dog, I'd have been posed or perceived as a threat. But until I walked in with that little doodle, see them doodles is the secret behind the doodles. This shit is real.
This is a Dogs Train Home podcast, stories of second chances, one person and one dog at a time. And I'm your host, Vix Little. So welcome, Didontae. Thanks for coming.
Good morning, good evening, and good night in whatever part of the world you may be in. Never know who's watching.
Yeah, you never know how big, what our reach is going to be, hopefully. Well, England, I'm hoping some people in England are watching.
Right.
If not, I'm disappointed.
I need one viewer at the bottom of the world, one viewer at the top of the world, and two more on both axes, and we're good. That's it.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I remember when I was younger, actually, in school and in church, we would always laugh because you would obviously say you pray up here and the devil's down here. And whenever we were looking down, we'd always laugh because Australia was below us. So we'd be like,
Oh, so they look down on Australia. Wow.
Australia's the devil.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Then Australians are like, really? That's how they view us? Okay.
But they're praying to us.
Okay. All right.
Maybe they probably didn't even know that our little elementary kids were like, oh.
Now they will, thanks to social media.
Now they will.
There you
Sorry.
go.
Sorry. We were like 5, or 7. I don't think
you can't do nothing nowadays. Now 5-year-olds get judged. They'll hold you in high court. I'm telling you, 5, you got enough cognitive skills to know not to say bad things about people, jokingly or not. Oh, this is America, damn it. We don't joke. We take this shit serious.
Don't cancel.
Everything's serious.
Don't cancel me.
Really? That cologne's not serious enough. Go put on some serious cologne.
So, where do you want to start? Let's take it back to the beginning. What was it? Tell me where you did a Zach's program, right?
Yeah, I did positive change program. I did that at Corcoran State Prison for a little while before it was taken away.
It got taken away?
Mm-hmm.
They removed it from the prison?
Mm-hmm.
Because of what, funding?
Well, being from the meetings that I had with the warden, because I was part of the men's advisory council on the prison yard. So those are the guys that essentially they're the voice of the inmate population and the staff officials. So whatever the inmate population feels and they have a vote upon of what they're trying to do, they either deliver that message to the men's advisory council, myself from every perspective or respective group or ethnicity there. And these groups go up to the front and they have meetings with the wardens. And at those meetings, it's discussed what funding they would get. A lot of the food sales that we did there went to either homeless families or children that didn't have clothes. When we raised money for positive change, a portion of that went towards the people in the Central Valley. But it all came down to simple money and politics.
That's really interesting because I never actually knew that. So you have to raise the money to get the programs in there.
So how it goes, and what a lot of people don't know, I learned this about a year ago, is that every single program that's inside of a prison, every single self-help group, every single religious group, no matter what it is, every program you see going inside of a prison is funded by the state. Either funded by the state or it's privately funded where people give donations.
Right.
But
yeah.
being that the world doesn't know the difference between the two, you can be funded, given state funding, and nobody ever know about it because you keep it hush hush, and you still collect funding from fundraising on the side and still get money like that. But us as being on the inside, when it came time for the food sales, so say guys want to buy food and they say, well, the local KFC is selling whatever they're selling. They'll put together a list. And usually most of the times on the list, the things that cost $7 to the outside world are price gouge for us. They're about like $20 for a $7 meal in there. And so a portion of that money goes to the inmate welfare fund, which we don't know where that money goes to. Another portion of that money goes to whatever organization that needs help, or they feel so we can vote which one we wanted to. So we say, hey, well, positive change is doing this or doing that. all right, well, we're going to have a food drive, and a percentage of the food drive that's supposed to go to a charity, we would like to donate it to this specific charity. And you
Yeah.
can do that. So sometimes it went to clothes for the winter, sometimes it went to school supplies for the kids, and then another time it went to positive change. But
And so the money that's for you guys, the inmates are
no,
paying.
no, yes, we're paying, yes.
So say they did Panda Express, right? And you were saying, and they price it up so that you would pay like $20 for like a $7 plate, and then the
Yeah.
different go to. So you guys inside are raising money for the programs coming in. Or
Some of them, yeah. So let's say so positive change. It's positive change or any program for that matter, being that it's a loved program. That is a loved program, a beloved program, and people's families are involved, and it's propagated out there to the world. And let's just say one day it came to an abrupt halt, and somebody put something on and said, "Hey, we're not able to get the money to fund this program, or we don't have this type of stuff." The community, it's the tearjerker. Like
yeah.
we want to help rehabilitate. We want to see this program keep going, so they send in money. But as you know now, the fundraising thing isn't where the vast majority of the money comes from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
You
it's
know,
grassroots and we need it, but yeah,
yeah,
that's
but it's not.
one way
It's
you're
not.
gonna keep in.
It's not where everybody is getting the money from. It's a wonderful propaganda. It's a good thing to sell, but unless you're on the level of what is the place? What's the one with they got all the shows on Animal Planet and stuff? Unless you're like a big giant corporate kahuna and you have somebody on every street corner from here to Dallas, Texas, campaigning and say, "Gimme, gimme, gimme," then you're not going to really raise much. Or you have some celebrity connects, or like many nonprofits that we know of, they have one person that's on their nonprofit that they bring in for the specific person because that person has money. They don't have to like them. They don't have to be friends with them. They don't do anything with that. As long as this person has money, I'll put you on the board because they need that funding. To whereas our situations is, yo, we're out the mud. All this is out the mud. And you can primarily tell the difference between people who have getting the extra push, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. The only wrong thing is when people get out here and say, "Oh, I got it out the mud," or "I did this from the grassroots," and you know damn well you got that extra bump of 50, 60, 20,000, 10,000, 15,000, 5,000, 2,000. Whereas you look at our situation, it's like, no, we're here, we're in it. So inside
Donate
there, huh,
$30 a month. I need them. If anyone can donate $30 a month, please. I need more people
I
donating
I
$30 a month.
do I would accept it, but then I wouldn't accept it because it's like you remember my pity that I had for such a long time. Heidi, remember Heidi?
Hmm.
Remember my little pit bull, my white pit bull. So that horrible story that came behind Heidi that a lot of people don't know. It was such a horrible story when you have to deal with funding and you have to deal with humane societies and you have to deal with people that say, "Hey, you may be housing the dog, you may be training the dog, you may be rehabbing the dog, you may be the damn person," and like Heidi, where all those are in one thing. You may even be the person that saved this dog's life.
Hmm.
But I don't give a damn. I have the money that pays for the stuff that goes on with this dog. So although you may be doing all these good things that are in a benefit of the quality of life for the dog, as long as you're not doing what I say and I got this bag, shut the fuck up and do what I tell you to do. Or else. And I had to find out the hard way what that or else meant. So I had a dog that had tumors in her mouth with cancers and all type of things going on with a messed up, opened up C-section. And I went to pull this dog out and she was supposed to go through a surgery. But she had a very, very wealthy, elderly, less melanated woman. We're gonna say that word. Less melanated woman who was a couple cans short of a six pack, and it basically went like this. It went like this, and I'm glad that hopefully men get to see this who are coming out. It goes to me strong. Number one, people are gonna look at who you are. Although people say they don't judge a book by a cover, they're going to judge you. They're going to go look up into your past, your records as a formerly incarcerated. It's Public Viewing Rights Act. I believe it's 5064, 6054. So they can go look up all your stuff. Don't think that because you tell a person openly, "Hey, I was in jail or I was wrongfully convicted or I did this bad time or this time or the other," they're still going to investigate who you are and then they're going to correlate. They're going to correlate whatever it is that they can use to judge you.
Yeah.
some in a biased way, majority in a biased way, and then about 10% are people who just genuinely want to know. But the vast majority are people that have like, I don't trust this or I don't trust that, especially in the canine or animal welfare community. People are weird. That's the best word for it. They're weird. I'm going to be blunt with it. Just Jesus. And I'm not even Christian and I'm saying Jesus. But you know what I mean? So
I
so
feel you.
so I had this lady, I had this dog, and a lady came in one day and the dog needed to get surgery. And I went into the shelter and I said, well, give me the dog that's least likely to get adopted. And it should be way to the back. And it was just a little hulking ass, little all white pit bull named Heidi. And the reason why I took her was because of her temperament and how she acted. She didn't lunge. She didn't even bark. She was
Yep.
just happy. Okay, took her out, had her outside. She was happy. She wanted to play with the ball. The ball was more exciting in that moment than the dog's barking to showcase that she's not really reactive and you can actually lead her away from that excitement. To whereas other dogs, you bring them out, they're barking and pulling all the way out to the play area. Even when you got the ball, they still want to go and have a damn cage fight. So that was
Yeah.
something and then she was older dog. And one of the things is I'm a pit bull guy. I like pitties. All right,
Dig-
so take this little short stack on back. I called Nikki over. Well, I called a few people. It's like, hey man, you take this dog. I'll train the dog. I'll do this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. I advocate for the dog. A couple places shut me down. Then I called Nikki from Much Love, and I was like, hey Nikki, can you get this dog pulled? What's going on? Um, and she was like, well, all right, I'll make a phone call. So she called up there to the shelter. They said they would keep the dog. Came and got the dog, moved her in there. And then I met the elderly lady, and it was strange, but you can always tell the judgmental eyes uh for the people who haven't been incarcerated or somebody who's incarcerated. We feel a lot of stuff that the average person in society has, I would say, deactivated or just they've been desensitized to. So
Yeah.
we feel the eyes of judgment more than anybody. And we can also have a higher set of instincts because, we lived in a very barbaric animalistic lifestyle for many, many years. So we adapted and adopted certain elements as a sense of survival. It's a transfer of energy that we have to make, but then at the same time, you still have it in you.
Yes.
So you just feel the judging, like, all right, this lady is judging. All right, here comes the games. Like, all right, you're sitting here talking about, hey, have you seen that show Pitbull and Parolees? I'm sitting in the front office. Where did this come from? Pitbull and Parolees. Okay, all right, okay. Sure, I've seen it. Yeah, what's going on with Pitbulls and Parolees? It was such a wonderful story. Such a wonderful story. And I went and looked up your story. You're in prison, right? I mean, obviously, the hell you've talked to somebody or you've seen somebody, and it's just a wonderful thing. And might I just add in, Heidi's food is coming up short. Has she been eating the proper type of food? Hold on, it's a segue. All this shit is the segue. It's all segue. I'm like, yeah, she eats her food. She gets the proper amount. She's probably one of the only dogs that gets this royal canine food. Okay. Could it be possible that her food is being stolen?
Stolen.
So all this was a lead into lead. Oh, well, ma'am. And then it came to, all right, my job is to provide safety and security for the dog, make sure it's properly trained so it can transition into its forever home. As you know, I'm not taking any of this shit personal. I'm not taking any of it personal. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, all right. The next great thing comes in is I have to let her know, ma'am, you can talk to my supervisors, but in my honest, I just got out of prison. So I'm being very calm and nice to people. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, ma'am, um, in order for you to walk this dog, you have to properly follow the instructions of the trainer and everything that goes on with this. This is a powerful dog. She has some reactivity towards other dogs. She's been in a cage for about a year and a half, so it's going to happen. You are 70 years old. Your hips cannot take the pull of this dog lunging or chasing after something, and you're letting it pull you up to people's doors.
Is
And it's
she
not.
wants to adopt this dog?
No, she just showed up every day at the same time to walk this dog.
Oh.
And where I used to live at in Culver City. You know how
Mm-hmm.
many dogs are there? You know how many homeless people are there? How it's just wow. There's 4 freaking dog training facilities in one place and they all beef with each other.
Yeah.
They all beef and nobody's ever said hi. So I'm trying to explain to her, like, this is liability, yada, yada, yada. Well, this, that, and the other. And it was the first warning. If I'm not able to take her out, then there's going to be some changes. At that moment, I'm like, all right, why lady, get your ass out of here then? I don't care. Like, this ain't my business anyway. Like, you need to talk to the boss, not me. I'm just a trainer, yo. So keep on going. And it came time for her to go to the vet. And she's supposed to go get her checkup. So I'm very, I want to know what's going on. And
And
they're
hang on
going
a
to
minute,
remove.
this was your first job out of prison, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never went the route as everybody else. I've never went the route as everybody. I've never had, oh, I'm going to be a dog trainer and this, or
Yeah.
I'm going to be this and a dog trainer. No, it's exactly what I am. This is what I studied for. This is my craft. This is my trade. This is my career. This is my lifestyle. If I got a hobby, it's going to most likely have some shit to do with dogs.
And this wasn't before you went into prison, were you like a dog person?
Yes. Yes.
This is all
I
bred.
wanted to be a Vix Brown author. I wanted to be an ASPCA cop. When I
What?
was a kid, I've always loved animals. I've always had a thing for animals. I can tell you what my
I need
favorite
to
bird is.
clarify why you called me Vix Brown author though, but because people might not know, I'm also a children's book author, so that's my handle.
Yes. And we will get into the story of how Vix became a traumatized child author. She put in work for you kids to be educated and, have identity of your feelings. She got attacked by them crazy animal people.
My kid birthed me into the world of feelings. For sure.
But so it was then the staff had to let her know, like, look, if you can't do this and obey the rules, it's not going to be happen. We'll call the rescue, et cetera, et cetera. It was a whole big ass thing. And then it came time for the dog to go and have the cancer removed from the mouth and have the cesarean stuff fixed. So when
This with the little white pit, the little
yeah,
what?
the white
Yes,
pit, that's the advertising photo.
yeah, the one that been in the fight rings. It was like, I mean, it was
The white pit, yeah. So
not a small dog.
the little buff girl. So yeah, like I said, a 70-year-old lady. Just imagine a 70-year-old woman walking down Venice Boulevard, and this dog decides she wants to take off running, and you got the whole goddamn leash wrapped around your arm, hips already loose on one side because you gangster leaning when you're walking. So
She's a
you know what I
fighting
mean?
dog. That's all she's done is attack.
Like, I'm about to go and just run after this dog. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't want to listen. Well, she did listen. So it comes time for the dog to get the surgery. She's there. She's giving me some stuff. I'm like, okay. She's like, did she eat this morning? And I'm like, no, but you can feed her right now because we know that's your usual thing that you like to do. So she gets the dog. She's going on some type of rant about the dog being in the room. The dog has a room. You have the VIP room.
And
What
hang on,
more?
this woman's a volunteer.
She's a volunteer, but she's the donor. She's covering the dog's medical expenses.
Gotcha. Okay.
So just see how much that power do right there.
Yep.
There's that power. So he's sitting there and we go to the front. She's like, all right, can you put the dog in my car? I'm like, put the dog in your car? Well, get your strong ass over here and put the dog in the car yourself then. Because just a minute ago you didn't need no help. Now you want the old convict to come put the dog in the car. All right. I picked the dog, put her in the car. She leaves. She comes back. Within the next 2 hours, we get a notification that that dog could not return to that veterinary clinic, that the lady had cussed the people out because she couldn't take the dog to the back personally, and the dog had to be in the cage pre-op. And at that moment, she called us and said she was removing her funding and she would not provide any more funding for that dog. So now I got a dog essentially that's dying with tumors and cancer in her mouth and a messed up C-section scar from whatever surgery or stuff that they had done to her.
So this woman was paying for the funding, wanted to be involved, but only doesn't
Wanted
make.
to be involved. Wanted
But
to
they
be
messed it
involved.
up for her
It was
because
it was it
they
was
were involved.
it was the first lesson of why I didn't want to accept money and how I was traumatized by that situation. I was already traumatized by, all right, being in prison, you don't accept anything from anybody, you don't take anything, everything has a price on it. I had gotten over that hurdle. The dog helped me do that. The classes that I had been in, because I was already in conflict resolution, and I did every class you could possibly think of in prison as far as
Yeah.
rehabilitation, even before going through group therapy while out in society. But it was just so much stuff going on in my lifestyle, or not even in my lifestyle, that was just going on in life in general, that it was just heaped on so much. It was, how they say, The shit was heaped up on if the shit was heaped on so high that I couldn't climb out enough. I couldn't climb out
Yeah.
enough just to get I couldn't even get my waist out. It was just
Yeah.
stacked back up like trash, like this place
Yeah.
is only made for one person to throw out trash, but you're dumping 20 people's worth of trash on it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that was that. But you get over those hurdles and you learn to forgive and all that type of stuff. But when you get out here into society, you don't expect what we think of as regular people to act like this.
Yeah.
You don't expect regular people to act like that. You expect it from the thugs, you expect it from the gangsters, you expect it from the prostitutes, you expect it from the robbers, all the scandalous, smirkish people that you've been around. But you've indoctrinated
Yeah.
a
Then
certain
that's
way of thinking.
outside. Yeah.
You've indoctrinated this new way of thinking, and under that new way of thinking, per a book, per a pamphlet, per a teacher, per a therapist, per the Department of Corrections, per the governor, per the district attorney, per everybody around you, per all these fake Bible thumping ass people that sin as soon as they walk out of church. But you know what I'm saying? This is what you're fed
Mm.
consistently. It's 24/7 on the prison channel about how you're supposed to act and how the world acts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you have an 80-year-old Caucasian woman with money doing like this to you, I
Yeah.
have something you won't. Dance, boy. Dance. And
Yeah.
do it the way I want you to do it. Oh, you care about this dog. All right, you didn't do what I told you to do. Let that dog die. Bye. I'll holler. I'll go find another dog to be a hero for.
Oh, what happened to the dog?
She came back. We waited a while. Nikki had much love. She was like, man, like it's real hard to get these pit bulls adopted. Everybody's like, it's hard to get pit bulls adopted. It's hard to do this. It's hard to do that. And Heidi she had been with us for, that was the longest dog they said they had for a while, just based
Yeah,
on she
I
was a
met
pit
her and
bull.
everything.
Good dog, right?
Yeah.
I would show up to adoption events, and I would say for the most part of it, it wasn't Heidi. It wasn't her fault. She wasn't getting adopted. It was me.
They were judging you.
Oh, I did tests myself. These are tests that I did myself. I got out of there. It wasn't like I had other black trainers to be like, hey, do it this way, hey, do it that way. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any other trainers. It wasn't like here, this is how you navigate through this field as a black man, as a ex-con. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
and now that's why as I started my program, I had to go and find people. I had to go find Oscar Rodriguez. I had to go talk to David Galaviz. Like, look, man, and this is what people as directors of nonprofits, especially with reentry or dealing with this population, this is a reality that they have to face is, look, bro, or homegirl, or boss, whatever you want to call yourself, founder, chairman, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Me, this is my own personal opinion. And I guarantee you this is why Canine Hub, Dog Rescue, and Reentry leadership program is going to be such a success because
Yeah.
we specifically utilize the people that are from those geographic regions who have been through that experience in order to guide and navigate the young men and women. If
Yeah.
you do not have that, if you have a board or a nonprofit and you do not have somebody who's formerly incarcerated on that board, your success level has been depleted by 65%. There's nothing you can teach me. What are you going to teach me, Vix, if you didn't have any of the knowledge of any of the people that you had been around?
Right. Yeah. Nothing. I
How
learned
would you be
everything
able to?
from you guys.
You feel me? These are like questions that people just don't want to ask because it's
Mhm.
like, damn. And then they end up you end up having these like backlashes, and we wonder why.
Yeah, because people don't wanna ask the uncomfortable question. They don't wanna make the person feel uncomfortable, but then if you don't ask the question, you're just gonna sit with your judgment. You're gonna have a judgment. You're gonna have a preconceived notion of what that person went through or what it's like. So you have to ask. I mean, I've just learned now, and we've been going for 3 years. I didn't realize that they got inmates to raise money as well for programs inside. So if you don't ask questions.
It is so much stuff that goes into it. Like once you get to read like the books, you start reading these books and you like the books, not like, oh, I went and read a book. That's good as well. But like reading other organizations' books of what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Yeah.
This shit will blow your mind.
Yeah. Where the money is coming from.
Where it's coming from and where it's going and how it's being spent.
Yeah.
And it's and I know that people are looking at they're probably looking at you as competition, they're looking at me as competition, they're looking at other people as competition. And it's not like I don't want to be a competition when it comes to this. I just want to come and do what I do best.
Yeah. And that's when did you start Canine Hub? When was your first thought? So you came out of prison, you got your first dog training job, which is where Heidi was at. Um, and then Canine Hub. When did that come about? Tell me about that.
Well, first, people that want to be dog trainers. I didn't just start off as a dog trainer. I started off at the bottom like everybody else. I was a kennel tech. I was a dog walker. I was a dog feeder. I was the guy in the dog park that picked up poop all day. That's all I did. Before I was able to even get to sit down in a sit down session with Colleen, it wasn't. And let's not get this. You don't show up to work to go sit up with the boss and learn. You show
And
up to work.
Colleen was your first boss, right?
Yeah. And my first teacher that I learned from outside of prison. You don't just show up to work. You don't show up to work and don't do any hard work and don't show any wonderful character traits and not be able to show up promptly and not show a etiquette and passion about this work that's outside of the money and think you just gonna get up there and go sit with Colleen or you're gonna go sit with Leah or you're gonna go sit with fucking Caesar or you're gonna sit with any trainer or any of these type of people or do bite work and all that type of stuff. You know, and I know it's a lot of folks out there where you can go and pay and do a 1 week seminar, but you'll figure out after that 1 week seminar if you didn't pay attention and if your heart's not really in this to be like, I'm going to go and apply this in my life afterwards.
Yeah.
Then don't complain about, oh, I want to be a trainer. This shit is hard and ain't nobody trying to do this or do that. It's you. Find out what it is that you want to do. If you're going to be a dog trainer, I'm going to do this. There's no other electives outside of dog training.
Yeah. Do it from the ground
Because
up.
it's different. This is a lifestyle that's completely different. You're dealing with living and breathing things that cannot express to you in human words what's going on. So you need to sit down and study and see like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And then how is this going to affect my life? If you're a fat dog trainer, you suck.
Because you need to be out there.
Come on now. If you're a dog trainer that ain't walked the dog, I don't know what the hell you got going on. You know, it just these are the truths that Vix ain't gonna tell y'all, but I'm gonna tell you because I don't care. These are the truths that we have to have. If you don't have the quality to actually love this, like so many other people love this, then don't do it. If it's all about the money, like all this is about the money.
Yeah.
Because for the
Yeah.
real people, there's
You don't want to do it. You have even with Dogs Train Home. I'm not a dog trainer, but I love the organization. I love what it stands for. So, which is how I met you. I went and shadowed at LA Canines with Colleen, and that's how I met you. But not to be a dog trainer, just because I want to have some kind of
because you embodied it.
yeah. I have to
And
know what you know.
And then as you start to grow and grow and grow, like Dogs Train Home, as it starts to grow, like what you're a mother. What mother wants to see their child stay 3 years old forever and
Right.
never grow?
Yeah.
Like, I just want you to stay like this forever. I don't ever want to see you grow. So then you look at the opposite. You look at your right hand. You look at your right hand. This the one baby over here. Blakey's the baby on the left hand. You look at your other baby on your right hand. And you watch Blakey start to grow to the age of 19. 19 years old, and then you look down at Dogs Train Home, and that shit is only it's still at 3 years old. We gotta throw that in the trash, Vic. That train done sailed. It turned into an airplane. Like it's,
Right.
but that's the type of that's the comparison that you have to look at, and that's something that I would like to that I'm going to teach. But to answer your question, about the dogs, how did I start Canine Hub, or why did I start Canine Hub?
Yeah. How, like,
Um,
what? Firstly, why?
is this why? Why would it have to be pain? The pain of not having. I mean, the pain of it's simplistic, but it's very intricate. The word is simplistic and very intricate. The pain of not having and the pain of knowing that you've never had a chance. I tell people all the time, let me reform some dudes. Show me that. Just give me one chance to reform some dudes, just one time. Just like with
Yeah.
this dog shit. Just like with the dog stuff. What I tell people, give me one time.
Just
Just show me
that.
one time, and I will show you. You'll see reform. You will see every single thing. How am I going to create a program that people are going to want to flock to?
Yeah.
That people are want to say, I want to be part of that because they're different. They do this way. You can see the pride. You can see the joy in them. You can see how they carry themselves. Ain't no heads down over there. They all have uniformity.
Yeah.
They all dress the same. They all think different, but when you speak, you listen. When they do this, they do that. Where's their grades at? These are the things that parents are supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we look at the bond that's been broken between humanity and our teenagers, our children. That's
That's right.
horrible to say. The bond that has been broken between humanity and our youth.
Yes. Which
So
gives a
what am I
discount.
going what am I going to do that? I have to fix it. I have to fix it. I have to do something about that. Nobody else has to do what Didontae is doing. You don't have to create a program. You don't have to do none of the shit that Didontae is doing. Fine. Fine. But just respect it.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Just respect the fact that this is a harsh reality, and I hope this blows up to like 1 million views. When I speak to people, especially when it comes to the time for employment, and this is why I now have so much like that Dave Aguilera is a cold dude when it comes to business. Dave is a no, because when you sit down with Dave and you watch him, and you watch the way that he moves, you look at Micah Knott. Micah Knott, his best friend, you look at the way that these dudes move. Look at your husband, look at yourself. People who've already been in another realm of business and the decisions that you have to make. So it's like when I'm speaking to dudes, and it's like, damn, hey man, we're gonna pay you this, we're gonna have you do this, we're gonna have you do that, and it's all good. It's all good. And you sit there, and I thought about it, and I'm like, it's either ego, it's either greed, it's the fact that people are selfish or they don't care,
Mm-hmm.
or we're running away from what it is that we're supposed to do. Because with all the excuses of why there shouldn't be buffaloes of dudes running back into these prisons to help dudes get out, to help rehabilitate while still training dogs.
Yeah.
It should be busloads. But everybody has this thing of money. Money, 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 money. Oh, you got to pay me this. You got to pay me that. You got to pay me this. Then nobody pays Zach to come up there and do the shit he did.
Yeah.
Then nobody paid Leah. But none of these people weren't paid until later on into the program. And if we look at the quality of training that they weren't getting paid what what they were supposed to.
Yeah.
If we look at the actual quality of work and the type of dogs that were being brought. So if we have people who have traveled, came to see you in prison, taught you a trade, gave you a therapeutic aspect, put you on a page to propagate you, to really give you that push. Then when you get out, who did you call to get you a job? And who did they call to get you a job? Hey man, what type of seminar did they send you to? And who said they know who, and how are the reasons that you get these rescue dogs that you train now?
Yeah. So
That
that's
was
it.
done.
Give
That
you
was
what you need in prison, but then once you're out, you're like, which is where both me and you want to bridge the gap. Like, now where do we go to? Who's going to help me? Like, who is going to help me?
and that's where we're at now. So it's the yin and the yang. If it didn't happen the way that it's happened, then we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like every king has to step away.
Yeah.
Every queen, there's a certain amount of tries around the sun. You gotta back down or just say, yo, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over here and do this.
Yeah.
So it's like at some point, it's like with the whole dog industry or prison program thing, at some point people be like, damn, like, man, Zach or this, that, and the other. Zach's not always gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Zach's always gonna be good. But then it's like, what happens when Zach is gone? Who's prepared to come and be like, yo, like he gave me the word many years ago. It's my job this is my job. I don't know how to say it, but I'll get real simple, like how my mom used to tell me when I was little. She's from the South. And it goes, I ran home one day. I said, Mama, I did good today at school. I did good. Take me to McDonald's. Look, I did good. Take me to McDonald's. She said, boy, I ain't taking you to McDonald's. I said, but why? She said, you don't get rewarded for doing what you're supposed to do. You get rewarded for going above and beyond. Now show me something different and I'll give you whatever you want, baby.
I love that.
I want to be rewarded.
I love that so much because that's what I say to my kid when he asks me for stuff. I'm like, I'm not giving you something for something you're meant to do, because rewarding is the same as punishment. It's control.
Right.
It's control. And what happens? What are you going to do? Are you going to, so if she buys you McDonald's for being good, so what happens when she starts buying you?
Expectation, predetermined belief, and
It's
heartache.
it's control. Yes.
So who else is gonna come and be like, well, now it's time. So from the time that I got out, I've only been out about like 3 years now. And from the time I got out, I had a strategy. And the strategy was this. Didontae, your back is against the wall. Your back has been against the wall. You've been in prison for 18 years. You tried as an adult. You wasn't supposed to be tried here. Then they turn around and give you the same sentence over again. Then try to give you life for something you didn't do.
Yeah.
So my back was against the wall. While in prison, it wasn't like I had hella support. I barely had support. I didn't even have a damn promise letter. I mean, I didn't even have a support letter to take to the parole board with me when I went.
See, that's what we provide now as well, because it's so important.
But within that, you take pride in that right there, right? See how happy you guys say that? You haven't got so big to where Vix is so high she can't be reached, or her organization has taken on so much that they can't reach out to people, because there's so many groups that I was part of that I wrote to. But when I wrote to them and it's time to go to parole board, they never wrote back. I had got all the certifications for these classes, but then I knew once you become part of the surplus,
Yeah.
it's just a check.
What, just to take it back for the listeners, what people don't realize is when you go to board, you need to prove that you've got support on the outside. That's why these letters are so important, because if
Yeah.
and then say, look, this organization, when if I get out, I can go to this organization, I can get some support, so that they know they're not just sending you out with no support. So it's really important.
And it was horrible for me because it was like I didn't have any support. Then before that, you're the DCFS, Department of Children Department of Children and Family Services. So I was a ward of the state before that. So it's like, who do we reach out to, or how do I reach out to people? A lot of the people that I was trying to call, I couldn't call them collect. Nobody had a global telling plan set up. They didn't even have the tablets in there. I come from a time in prison that when we went on lockdown, we were on lockdown for 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
This next generation that you have in here now, 30 days tops. Do you know what it's like to sit in a cage? Go sit in your bathroom for 30 days straight.
That's like, I know, because I've spoken to Melvin, and Melvin's told me it's like a 9x9 cell with another person in it.
And a toilet, and some metal lockers,
And you're not coming out.
and a window this big.
15 minutes to go and have a wash.
No, if that. I was in one of those prisons where you stayed in there 24/7. You get a shower every 72 hours. To the point to where your skin would change every shade of light. Like I came out of there like pale, skinny, sucked up, didn't have food, no family support. Me and my celliers sharing peanut butter sandwiches.
You said.
So when we say like certain things about, no, this has been out the bottom, we're building this out of the mud.
Yeah.
Canine Hub was created from an idea while sitting in prison in solitary confinement. They had stripped everything away from me, everything. The dog program was stripped. They took it. They said we can't get funding for it. That was one of their things. And then it was so much turmoil behind the dog program because of its rehabilitative effects that it had. You're playing a game. You're a player within a game, and you're very, very outnumbered, Vix. I'm
Yeah.
outnumbered. But we make up for it with just a few people that we have that we grow with, because those few people have a big, big presence.
Yes.
They have a big presence. So let's say
So how
we have
many, hang on, so just to backtrack, how many rounds did you get to do of the program?
2, and that shit was out of there.
Wow. So
I've never even been to a positive change graduation. I got my graduation letters in my cell. We were on lockdown.
So you did
And
2
then
rounds and then they took it.
2 rounds, and then they took it. And then one thing that I did establish while up there was, remember, going above and beyond. So positive change was never ever considered a trade in prison. Dog training was never considered a trade. And I looked at all the other jobs that they had, and I was like, well, we deserve to get time off for this. Like at first, I went into it doing it free because I love it. It's just dogs. But man, as I looked at my certification and that guy, I was like, well, why did this qualify? I had to appeal that shit for 7 months straight and take it all the way to Sacramento to get dog training approved and viewed as a trade for guys to get time taken off. So
Nice.
it's actually seen as a trade now. We're working with Department of Probation to get that seen as a trade, so guys can start getting checks and getting paid, so they can start building their career like that. So it won't be, oh, I got out of jail homeless without any money or support.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that I got out of jail, I have my own thing set up. I got my DMV stuff ready already in my packet. I got my 3-year, 4-year plan of what I'm going to do. I know the house that I'm going to go to. I know who's going to pick me up and take me to this house. I know where I'm going to go to get my clothes. My clothes might already be there when I get there.
No, I love.
And one of the biggest things that people we need to celebrate is celebrate life.
Yes.
To this day, I still get a little depressed when I look at videos and I see people getting out and their family greeting them or their friends greet them and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, damn, I wish I would have had that. But you know what? It's not about you anymore, Didontae. What are you going to do for the next person?
Yes. Yes.
Are you going to be able to ascertain a business that's big enough while at the same time that's incapable of being big enough to where people are left out in the blind?
Yes.
For the people who are out there listening, if you don't know who Vix is, you should really go and look up who Vix is and the stuff that she does, because a lot of stuff you won't see on here. If I were somebody who had a giant corporation and I was running around and I seen Vix and I seen the stuff that she did, and when I mean the stuff that she did, so within the little time that I've known her, we probably about neck and neck in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, y'all. You
I
know, I'm a regular person, so I like to use my vernacular in other ways sometimes.
I'm
So
English. Don't worry.
about the same time, and you seen where I was at. So I had to make a decision, and one of the decisions was, who's going to retire my mama? Who's going to retire me? How am I going to be able to afford good quality health insurance?
Yep.
How am I going to be able to afford good quality place to live? How am I going to be able to afford good quality food that's not going to kill me, that's not going to have me feeling sick, and actually does good stuff for me?
Yep.
Ask any guy that's getting out right now, going to get out, or that's been out within the past 6 months. How many of these have they thought about? The fact that you want to retire your mom, every little boy wants their mom to be in a better place. I don't give a damn who it is. I don't care what they've been through with their mother, unless you have some weird ass resentment that you haven't let go. That's between you and God. You need to go talk to him. Go get some therapy. There's freaking 50 million therapists on Instagram talking this shit. So take advantage of that. And then we have, I want to retire my mom. So I need to get enough money to where I'm able to take care of myself and I'm able to retire my mom. Let that start to sink in to the mechanics of how you're going to move throughout life. Just that
Yeah.
little right there, like, damn. Because I had some real stuff happen. I had my mom take a slip and fall on Long Beach Boulevard while walking to work. I'm her only son. I'm her only son that's going to be there when some shit happens.
Yeah. So you need to figure out how you're going to protect it.
And you got to do it fast, but you got to do it organically. You
Yeah.
got to do it to where you're not risking your life. You got to do it to where you're not being disrespectful towards people. You have to do it to where you don't have any resentment because you've been in jail all your damn life and you've been lied to about every single thing under the sun. Now you sitting here, shit, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I remember telling you the first time I met you when we had my big ass dog, that big German Shepherd I had. And I said,
You were teaching me to do box walking.
mm-hmm. And I remember telling you, but I said it like real fast. And I was like, Vix, everybody's not meant to be an employee.
Yeah.
Everybody's not meant. So you mean to tell me every single one of these guys that are getting out of prison, none of them is a boss? None of these dudes are bosses? So you so you mean to tell me this dude, the guy right here, let's riddle me this. The guy right here with the capacity and the control over 1,500 men, to where he snaps his fingers, they go. The guy with the capacity to sit down and create a program while in prison, facilitate that program, weave throughout Nazi lowriders, Aryan Brotherhood, the Bloods, the Crips, the Black Guerrilla families, the Northanios, the SAs, the Soreños, and all that, and still leave that place with his sanity, with his physicality, and with his ability to move on with a smile on his face. That's a damn boss.
Yes, that's right.
So when they enter into society, they should be put into an incubator to grow that, to feed them into growing that, but not feed them. And it's kind of like e-collars.
And
This
this is
is
your
like,
mindset. This is what you want to provide with the Canine Hub.
no, that's what it is providing, and we've done it. We've done it with Tony Brown. So you look at Tony Brown. Tony Brown's convicted. He was convicted of murder. Tried. He's supposed to be tried as an adult. The laws passed, whereas he's now able to be inside. Where he was able to be released at the age of, I think, 20 or 21. So he's been out about a year and a half, 2 years now. So when I went in, I was employed under another staffing agency. It was one of the first times that happened for that particular camp. But I wasn't comfortable with the way things were going. I took it upon myself to show up to the kids' court dates because I wanted to know what was going on. You know, that go above and beyond type of lifestyle. Go above and beyond, because if you don't go above and beyond, you're gonna stay in a blind. So I wanted to know what was going on at home. So I would find that a lot of these kids, it wasn't the gangs anymore. We blame a lot of shit on gangs. Oh, the gangs are the reason, the gangs are the reason, the gangs are the reason, but dial that shit back 5 years and go to the square root of where that child came from in order to get to the gang. How did
Yeah.
they have access to the gangs?
Yeah.
What was going on so bad in a home whereas this was happening, whereas they resorted to wanting to seek comfort from a gang?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Are you in a home playing friend with the child, or are you being parent to the child?
Yeah. Yeah.
Big difference. You know, is there balance? Where's the balance there?
Yeah.
Are you working and it's a single parent household? That's another thing as well, because you can't really be a supervisor to that.
Right.
So I would see the kids going through that. The gang shit, I handle that easily. I know some people, and if I know the people, I make some phone calls. Hey, look, man, little dude, he with me now. He making money. He got his life together. I will tell him he's not from there no more. Tell him he's dismissed, and they will tell them, look, man,
Yeah.
you dismissed. This what you posted. This what we all dreamed of. These are OG dudes telling these kids this. This what we dreamed of. We just come on now.
Yeah.
And then, all right, now that's another chapter that's closed. Then the gang chapter is closed. The family part, we're working on that. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to their homes to see what's going on. That's how I'm able to understand. Oh, it's not the gangs, it's the household.
Yeah.
A lot of times these kids won't know that it may just be your family that's against you.
Mm-hmm.
I've had parents tell judges, keep him in jail. Keep my child in jail. Oh, he's bad. Keep him in jail. That's not the reason to keep him in jail.
Yeah. That's
How
not
about you take it?
rehabilitate him. Yeah.
Yeah, take responsibility. Because while you're lacking to take responsibility, you're desensitizing what jail and prison is to your child. Now
Yeah.
this is becoming the new norms. And what are they doing inside the jails? They got PlayStation, they got weight room, they get 3 meals.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
kids aren't.
this is in juvenile, right?
Yeah, this is juvie. You know, a lot of kids aren't eating 3 meals. A lot of kids don't have access to video games. A lot of kids don't have access to positive environments. So a child would rather stay in that environment than go back to the negative at which the household is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So continue to go on. So once we close that chapter, we close all the 3 chapters, we go down. Now that you're saturated, we give you every option, and we saturated you with every aspect. We found a way to get around the parenting thing. All right, the gang thing, we've eliminated that. We provided education, that's in there. We do the community work. All right, where are you located at? I'm located out here. Well, we need to hook you up with Vix. Vix, I got this guy. He needs to do this. This is his treatment plan. The same way you come up with a treatment plan for the dog.
What does he need?
Same.
Yeah. What
All right.
where are
Let
we?
me see what this, for real. Like, people take the time you take to take with these damn dogs that we love so much,
Yeah.
and put some of that time into these kids.
Yeah. Like what do they need training on? And let's help train them.
Like, let's transfer that energy. Let's
Yeah.
transfer the energy to all right. I have this child right here. What's this child got going on? Okay, we got these problems. We got these problems. We got these problems. All right. Where's another problem? The problem that comes in there is what we go back to in the beginning. If I have a person who has no idea of how to deal with gang resolution, conflict intervention, that has no idea of the geographics of where they're at or where they're from. So how am I going to be able to teach this kid if I don't know where to take him at when he gets out?
Yeah.
How am I going to be able to find housing if I'm gonna put him in a gang area, if he had a crime there previously before?
Yeah.
Now I might get the kid killed.
Yeah.
Then, the family situation, I just ignore the family situation and just throw the kid back in the home because, whatever the case may be. And, you might have to be that person to step up and tell somebody's parent, ma'am, I'm going to need you to take responsibility and take off the damn training wheels and grow up and be a parent.
Yeah.
Some people just can't do that. So
Yeah.
when I look at somebody like Vix, how you doing, Miss Vix Brown, author? What you got going on? All right. Why would I want to work with somebody like Vix? Why? Because Vix has been to LA. Vix has been throughout Compton. Vix has been to meetings. Vix has been to Los Angeles Innocent Project meetings. She's traveled through all those hallways. She's met district attorneys. She's met professors, and she's done it all on her own time. She wasn't paid to do any of this. She doesn't need to do any of this, but she's doing it because her heart is in it. That's why it's a very selective amount of people that deserve these type of positions. But being that it's such a big wave of people doing it without their heart in it, so many of us are coming up short.
Yeah. That's basically, and that's great 'cause that brings us back to why you so Canine Hub is literally a hub. It starts from the youth to what they need, to their families, to figuring out how you can help them. And
It's
you will produce dog trainers as well, because I know
it
you're going to be going in and dog train him.
it's more than that, Vix. It's more than that. Canine Hub, of course, animals, dogs. You're going
Hmm.
to see trainers come out of Canine Hub. You're going to see future directors come out of Canine Hub. You're going to see all these things come out of Canine Hub. But what Canine Hub provides is healing for a community. So it was created out of pain.
Yeah.
But as we continue to go in a direction, I no longer have that, it no longer has that pain because it's evolving now. It's evolving to where it's like, all right, what is it that we're doing now that the groundation is paved? We do a lot of shit out of hurt.
Yeah.
We do a lot of shit, and that's why like, man, he's playing hard in that basketball, but you smile at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So, it started off like, all right, this, but now it's at a level of, through the education and the capacity that we have, is that uh it's going to provide an economic uprise for a community that doesn't have any type of knowledge or education into the animal welfare community.
That's
So we
right.
have
I want you to talk a little about Compton, because I've been down there with you. You invited me down there. You took me around. You showed me Compton. Honestly, I wouldn't have been to Compton if I didn't know anyone down there. It's not. I don't live there, so I wouldn't have gone there. And
right,
also, people like me would be scared to go there because you hear what you hear. You're like, oh, Compton. Oh, I'm scared to drive through it. Like if I drive too slow, my wheels are gonna get stolen. Like it's
right,
do have that preconceived notion, but you invited me down there. Still need to go back because that burger place you took me to is
Louis,
what is it called?
Louis,
Yes.
and take Blake. We just got a new park built. We got a brand new park with a brand new, the pools rebuilt with the slide and all that, right across the street at Ludus Park. Nice
There
state
we
of the art park.
go. Okay, you're gonna take me for burger there again because that's the best burger I've ever tasted.
We gonna
And,
eat burgers and take Blakey over there to the park.
and then we're gonna take Blake to the bar. But I want you to tell me a bit because there is a real big problem in Compton with the dog rescues, and I was flabbergasted to find out there are no dog rescues in Compton.
Right.
Other than
So
now.
that is a touchy situation.
As in dog
Oh,
rescues as in cities, as in the city doesn't have a dog rescue.
yeah, so Compton, since the establishment of the city, since like 1880 something, has never had a dog rescue. Never had one, never built one. And what Compton does, just like Watts, Linwood, and other areas, they pay
Right.
Los Angeles County Animal Control a hell of a lot of money each year to contract out and to take care of those services. Being that I went to prison in 2005, January 2005, January 19th, 2005, and I got out 18 years later. And everybody knows it's only two things you see in the morning walking to school while in Compton: dogs and hoes. Dogs and hoes. I'm talking about butt naked chicks everywhere and dogs everywhere.
And
Dead
just
dogs everywhere. Packs
yep,
of dogs everywhere. Dogs with open wounds everywhere.
yep.
Eating off dogs, eating dogs, dogs and cats eating cats, dogs eating birds, birds. It's just a kerfuffle of all type of
We went
shit
outside,
going on.
we saw that matted the dog had all the matted hair.
Yeah, yeah. I still got all the videos. I got and the dead animals. The dead animals. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother shit. That is crazy.
But there's
So
city rescue.
there's no rescue. There's a shelter that's located in Downey, and that's about 15 minutes away. Just to put it all in a big ass, big giant nut, I'll say this: I like the fact that I have a friend like Vix that I can say, "Hey, Vix, I'm gonna show you this paperwork. I'm gonna give you this game right here." I get to talk. I talk to Vix like I talk to one of my homies. So if y'all hear me talking, what the hell is this dude saying? Like, "Hey, Vix, bruh, check it out. These fools over here tripping." I told this lady the other day, get the show up. Like, I get to talk like that because that's what you get to do. Like, why not? So, not in a board meeting though, but when I'm with my peoples, I talk to my peoples like this. So Vix, I'm gonna give you this game. I want you to read this game right here. And then after you read this, it's the master plans. It's like, wait, no, Vix, what? It's the master plans. Vix. It's the Los Angeles County Animal Control master plans. She's like, what is that? I was like, well, I went and got this EIN number. I mean, I got this UEI number. And when you get this UEI number, you get to look at everybody's contracts and you get to go and look at this stuff. I'm like, man, it's like a video game, Vix. Because once you unlock one thing, you get to show you all this other shit. And you get to read everything that's going on with the people who consider to be competition. But the federal government said, y'all just business partners. The federal government controls all the money that we're trying to get for all this funding and stuff.
This is
And the
why I love
federal government
you so much, because you're so highly intelligent and go off everywhere.
the federal government tells us that we're business partners if we get a UEI number, a unique entity identification number. But everybody's so caught up in the money grab and this giant ass rat race, we all think, well, not they think that we're competition. But the federal government allows us to look at everybody else's paperwork that we're doing in order to say, all right, this is how they do it. So we went and looked up this information and I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I just wanted to see. I did it with like three people. I did this little social test that I because after a while of you reading so much and you learning so much and you being the only person doing this, when you start to talk to people who are not as educated as you or ascertain this knowledge, or they may have the knowledge of the masses, they don't have the knowledge of the select few or the people that want to be part of the select few, they don't believe you or they call you crazy.
Yeah.
And after a while of you being called crazy, you just like, I don't even have a point talking anymore because you're not gonna believe me anyway, even though what I'm telling you is right here. That's
Yeah.
right here. So once you went in there and you seen the amount of money that every city is paying, you seen the amount of money that's going into the Department of Animal Control. They requested $1 million for Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi only costs $50 for one household. What the hell high-speed internet access do you guys need?
Starlink.
Well,
Starlink's quite cheap, actually,
tell them to
huh?
park your truck out front and hook it up. You know what I'm saying? Shit. So if we look at this, if I have an organization, one of the biggest organizations in Los Angeles County that's been around for years, and I look at their top person from Department of Animal Control, and you make $400,000 annually, on top of the fact that you work a nonprofit through Department of Animal Control, and you went to school to build an animal rescue nonprofit, so you're making the money while incorporating other things that are going to have money come out of there while handpicking the dogs that you want to send to other organizations. And this is not opinion. This is all fact. This is all what you're able to read. So once I read that, it allowed me to become stronger. It allowed me to be a proper CEO. It allowed me to be a proper animal rescue advocate by saying that I get to do this. I get to take my emotions out of that.
Yeah.
I get to take my emotions out of that because that's what everybody has been running off of for years and years and years. Every single year, in the 6 month, close to November, close to October, there's an uprise in political. Hey, send us this or this is going wrong. You notice there hasn't been a Skid Row dog advertisement in the past 3 months.
Yeah.
I got what I needed to get in the midst of this political upheaval that's going on, so I can go ahead and get this money stuff. There hasn't been any advertisement to support those wildfire dogs that vanished. The whole shelter vanished. That was up there in Pasadena.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Where did those dogs go?
Mm-hmm. To
They
other
brought
shops.
in all those fire dogs. They brought them all in, right? And they said they shipped out all the old dogs that had been in the shelters, unable to get adopted. Where did those dogs go? And it's exactly like what I told everybody. Those dogs were euthanized.
Yeah,
They're
100%.
old. Let me be devil's advocate. They're old. They've been in a cage for a long time. People have been walking past here, seeing them all the time. They have some type of adverse effect to them,
Mm,
and they're institutionalized.
yeah,
Now let's
tons.
see. Now let's go to this right here. What's the only other population that's like that? I'm asking you a question, Vix.
I mean, the prison population?
There you go. What's the only other organization or group of people that's classified as animals, that's classified as expendable?
Yeah, the prison population.
Exactly. The animals show what's going on in the prisons, and the guys in prison show what's going on to the animals by the
Yeah,
way that they're treated.
yeah,
If you really look at it, I was never recognized as a dog trainer or even as a human being or even as a person when I walked into events until I walked in with a damn dog.
yeah.
If I'd have walked in without the dog, I'd have been posed or perceived as a threat or something's going on. But until I walked in with that little doodle, that doodle, see them doodles is the secret behind the doodles. This shit is real. I may say this with character and have my comic relief for everybody, but the doodles, it's some shit about a doodle, right? Doodles will get every black man into a door that he can't get into.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. If you got a doodle, it's a
If you got
doodle.
a doodle, if you got a doodle, you got a
Don't
doodle.
love it. Is that a doodle?
And that's it's just that's a whole nother story right there. If I
Be
broke that down, huh?
be different if you had a Rottweiler.
Oh yeah, hell no, you're not coming in. No. And even when I got older and I met these trainers, I met the black trainers, I met the trainers that have traveled the world, and I sat down and I talked to them, and they're like, people they will judge you off your dog.
Mhm.
I'm like, why is that? He said they will. He said when you walk through Compton, Long Beach, Watts, South Central, what do they walk? Sat down and thought about it. You see some pit bulls, corsos, German Shepherd, not really German Shepherd, pit bulls, corsos. Now everybody want to get Belgian Mastiffs,
Mhm.
Rottweilers, and all that type of stuff. Dobermans. He said, "What type of dogs are those?" It's like protection dogs. They said, but after they were protection dogs, they were protection dogs at first. But who got a hold of those dogs and changed the dynamics of how these dogs are viewed? Gangsters,
Yeah.
cartel bosses, people that got to hide some shit where they always paranoid. He said, now let me take it a step further. How do white people view those dogs? He said, I answer it for you. They're nigga dogs.
Mhm.
They're the dogs that every ghetto ass nigga in the hood has chained up that don't know how to act, that's sitting in the backyard, that's barking at people, that's biting people, and doing all type of stuff. These, he says, he said, now you see? He said, that's how the vast majority looks at it.
Yeah, it's the same in England, yeah.
So when I went to the scoreboard, of how we're gonna up one, Then I had to do a reverse psychology real quick. I said, okay, well, if I have dudes that are getting out, and quick fact for everybody before I get off the Department of Animal Control stuff. Per care, my partners, care. You guys ever look up James Evans? Look up the care team.
Mhm.
Beautiful place for one of my partners. They provide so much information that it'll blow your mind. And I'd be scared to say the shit sometimes because I don't be wanting to offend the white people. But it's the truth. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Vix is honorary in this. She's not from over here. So,
You can't
so
offend.
I went and read, and they were providing facts, and it said that the animal welfare industry is so much underserved that if only 5% or 2% more of African American and Latinos were allowed to go inside adoption and animal welfare places and not be judged, that we would lower, just those two groups would lower the entire euthanasia scene by more than what, 60, 70%. Just these two groups. But being that we go in there and we get judged or we're looked at with such a
They say
biasness,
you can't take that dog because you're gonna put it into a fighting ring.
you a nigga got a nigga dog. Nigga come for a nigga dog. We see what you're trying to do. Sound like a Dave Chappelle skit. But so that's one like crazy that was just wild. And then our industry, the industry that we're in, is dominated. Not like, oh, they're bossing in here or they control it. No, they went all the way to the word dominated. 95% dominated by white women.
Yeah. I'm one of them.
You ain't start dominating yet. We got to start dominating. So they dominating you.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not a rescue either. I'm not a rescue. I couldn't be a rescue. It's God's work. I could be a rescue.
Rescue, you see, you've seen the rescue stuff. That's why you're saying that right now. But and then so I said, how would I be able to counter that? How do I counter? How do I do that? I look at, all right, what do dudes lack when they get out of prison as far as becoming a dog trainer? They lack the tools.
Yeah.
So if I can get a guy, I teach you how to properly use a leash, teach you how to properly use a slip lead. I teach you how to properly use a prong collar. I teach you how to properly use an e-collar. I teach you how to use choke chain. I teach you how to work with dogs that all the other trainers run from. No trainer right now goes to Compton. No trainer goes to Watts. No trainer goes to Long Beach. No trainer goes to South Central. No trainer goes to Eaglewood. No trainer, none of them train in these areas.
Because there's no money in the areas.
Lies.
Oh, that's
It's
what
lying. What do you mean there's no money in South Central?
that's what they think.
If 99% of the United States economy is based on the backbones of small businesses, 99% is small business. There's only one major business corporation that owns it all, and that's the federal government. Uncle Sam. So if 99% of small businesses control the backbone of how the United States works, we're the fueling factor of this whole machine.
Yeah.
What is that then? That's ironically, that's an excuse.
Yeah.
Are you finding the right clients?
Yeah.
Are you going out to find the clients? Because last time I checked and I walked the dog out of a shelter and walked him around there, I asked the question. I think I have the video. I asked the question. It was Sebastian, the pit bull.
Oh, yeah.
I walked into the shelter. I said, what's up with this pit? This dude is stunning. I'm talking about Vix, stunning. How do I say? Absolutely stunning. I'm talking about that dog was nice as hell. And I was like, what's up with this pit? Oh, he's aggressive. He does this. He fights at this. So at that moment, I said, look, a guy was walking past, black dude, had dreads. Bam, here's my chance. Brother, what? Hey, man, this dog here, I'm a trainer. I'll provide free training for the dog. Just take the dog. I'll do the assessment evaluation that same day. Got that dog, eval, got him assessed, and that dog's in the house the next day. I did 2 free training sessions, and it was good.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking this dog in the neighborhood, this dog is getting stopped by everybody. Everybody, oh, that's a nice dog. That's a nice dog. I got videos of the guy with his 2-year-old son with the dog saying, see, Sebastian don't bite. And as I'm walking, people are stopping me by the schools. Hey, you train dogs? Yeah, I train dogs. Like, oh man, we don't really see trainers around here. I was like, what? There's no trainer? He's like, man, they either scared or they want to charge too much. So
Yes.
now,
Yep.
now the
They too much.
you seen me upset the other day, right? You seen me upset because as my advertising puts out for the training and the job opportunities we have at Canine Hub. And at Canine Hub, as a trainer, you make $100 an hour. So let's really look at this. You make $100 an hour. In prison, you make 9 cents an hour, and then have to pay restitution. Okay, all right. You gang bang for free your whole goddamn life, so you did everything negative under the sun. So let's look at, are we adding things up or are we not adding things up properly? So if I'm making $100 an hour working for Canine Hub inside of a facility for 3 hours, I leave, that's $300 plus gas mileage, whatever that may be. Then you leave, drive down to South Central, train 2 dogs. Each dog a 2-hour session for $250. That's, how much is that? $500 plus $800 in one day. That's damn near $1,000 plus gas paid for the entire day for 1 day of work, Vic. So as me, like you sit down now as a boss, as a CEO, you get to looking at because you get to spread all your paper out.
Mhm.
Now you're up here with. That's why I said Dave was a cold ass dude, because you had to manage all that and then manage your emotion, then manage complete stupidity at the same time. Like, now that does not make sense, and you know that doesn't make sense. But
Yeah.
I'll let you have it there. I'll let you have it. Then you get to sitting there, and then you have to make the choice of saying, hey, if what I'm giving you you don't want because you can't open your eyes to see how broad this thing can go, then I'm gonna let you have it your way. Then I'm gonna
Mhm.
continue to grow.
That's right. And you've got your program now. So you've got, let's talk about that. You've got your program.
Mhm.
And when does that start? The program is gonna, you can go in and train the youths inside.
Yeah,
So,
so I have two contracts with the Department of Probation, one at SYTF Sylmore and one in Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall in Downey, with the expansion of three more facilities and the East camps coming up within 6 months. I got my first gray hair doing this. I got my first gray hair doing this, and if Dogs Train Home, let's just say Dogs Train Home was up and running for 4 years now.
mhm.
Dogs Train Home would have been a place I had to go to get help. Like that's where I would have went, because doing it
And
by
we'll
yourself,
let you know if you had written to us, and we would have 100%. I would have
man,
personally written that letter back for you.
whoo, because it's been so tiresome, and just it takes a lot. It takes a lot, and that's where that pain aspect comes in. Of, I don't want dudes to be up in the middle of the night like I do, putting in all this work. I don't want dudes to have to bump their head, heartache, the usury that comes with just being in the industry. It's not that people purposely want to use you. You know what I'm saying? They got a business to keep running.
Yeah.
They have to feed their kids. They got to do all that. And, it's at a
I
certain point, huh?
I knew you were always going to be the person to do it. From the first time I met you and you were helping me train that big German Shepherd. I was like, he's gonna. I rang Isaac, our VP, and was like, "Do you know Didontae? He's going places. I've just met him, and I'm telling you now, he's going places."
And Vix is it's hard. I will say it's hard because it's certain shit that you just don't know are gonna come your way that you're gonna have to deal with.
But you got thick skin, and you're intelligent, and you're not
Yes,
scared.
but still at the same time, the sacrifices that a man makes in the darkness,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's like the sacrifices. Like, if you can go 4 years of building a business, I said this today. I'm gonna say this in the thing while I was driving over here. Like, I gotta get on this call with Vix. And I said this today. If you can go 4 years of just talking to yourself and believing in yourself and nobody believing in you. I'm talking about, you have to be able to sit down and look yourself in the mirror every day and know that it's somebody closing the door in your face because they don't want to see you succeed. You got to know it's people that'll be telling you something because they feel like you're gonna come for the money that they got going for it, and you the entire time wholeheartedly just want to help people and help animals. That's all that you want to do. You want to be able to be like, all right, I want to provide a way to where shit, my time clock might expire 30 years from now. What am I gonna do within the next 30 years?
Yeah.
Like, and then I feel bad because like we, I'll say we, as in the fellas, as in the dudes, and y'all, you might not want to admit it now. I admit it for your ass. We've done so much destruction. That destruction that don't nobody want to speak on, the destruction that everybody says, oh, I'm this overtly changed person. I'm this, that, and the other. For 15 to 20 years, you were a destructive person who carried about a lifestyle that was incapable of caring about another individual, let alone an animal.
Hmm.
This was us. This was us. And we all know, we sat down and we asked God, if you give me a second chance, I'm gonna do this. Because we've all been in there. That's that shit I'm talking about, Vix. This that shit that can't nobody else tell me. Oh, I can do that. No, you ain't got that experience that I had. You ain't talked to God in that solitary confinement on your deathbed to where you made that decision with God. A lot of people made the deal with the devil. I'm talking about the deal you made with God or whatever your higher power is. Your higher power might be your mama, or it could have been your dog. I don't know. So whereas you said this, God, if you give me a second chance and you let me out of here, I'm gonna do right in the community. I'm gonna do it in every which way I can. I'm gonna do right by my family. I'm gonna do right by myself. But then when we get here to where we're supposed to be at, we're only doing right half-heartedly by ourselves because you're
Just
selling yourself halfway because you made a promise to a higher power that you was going to do something. And now you've gotten to a certain place. We've gotten to a certain place. We reach you probably didn't reach your plateau or you gotten somewhere, but you haven't pushed it to the limit that you know you can push it because you got out here and became comfortable.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't push the limit and say, I'm gonna go back to that neighborhood where I caused so much destruction and I'm gonna get out there and try to change something. Even if it's feeding somebody, even if it's putting clothes on their back, even if it's volunteering to say, hey, I may charge people $500 over here to train their dogs. But what's
Yep.
wrong with me going down over here to Compton and see this single mother with her kid and this is that child's best friend because he ain't got no friends and all that type of stuff? What's wrong with me just giving him some type of oomph by training his dog, taking whatever pay that I'll get? Look, man, we can do a payment plan. We can do 170. Oh,
Right.
you may be at work. You may be at work. Send the kid over here to the park with the dog,
Yeah.
and I'll train the dog for free
Mm-hmm.
because that's one of Canine Hub's things. Single mothers, we lower the rate substantially. If your kid is somewhere and we have a place where we can meet up with the kid and all that, and it's at a supervised area, we'll train a dog there for free. It's free. It's a child.
The kid gets dog training as well, then they'll be able to control the dog. It's a win-win.
And it's organic. It's done organic because the seeds that I'm planting in this child, now he's like, hold on, that's somebody that walk like me, talk like me, look like me, talking to me. He's successful. This dog is doing all type of shit I ain't never seen before. Now the dog is listening to me, and now my mom don't have to tell me to do this. Hey man, what can I do with this?
Yeah.
That's when that question comes up. So we get to beat the curve, Vix. Instead
Yeah.
of me going and teaching some kid that's 16 years old, traumatized, hurt, angry at the world, don't know who they are, has no self-existence of their own identity. I get to
Yeah.
beat the curve. You was 16. I caught you 10, 11 years in advance. Now look at you. That's all we trying to do. Canine Hub inside these facilities, beat the curve.
I love that. And it's gonna happen because you're
Yeah.
you're
Beat the
at the
curve.
helm. It's gonna happen because you're in it. And we're gonna be working closely with you because you're gonna be running programs that we don't need to
Yes.
run. All that with our organization needs to do is be the support, write the letters, figure out what you need, and then get you into those programs. So if you're running those programs, we'll be working right alongside you to put guys into the program.
And then the educational aspects as well. That's a major pointer. The educational aspects of financial literacy,
Yes, yes.
um, starting a bank account. For me, for instance, learning how to drive properly, not like a madman, but learning how to drive. What else do we have here? Financial literacy,
Starting up a
education,
business, what you need.
starting up a business, start a 501c3, how much money each group in the industry has, how to carry yourself as far as talking to people, dialogue. Um,
Inside, well, we have a lawyer that we can run
exactly.
seminars
So
with
all
what
these different
and
things,
our students at work now.
and just bridging the gaps, just bridging the gaps. So I speak with Troy all the time. I'm always talking to Jamal, in contact with David Galaviz, who will be going inside with us to train in the facilities, Oscar Rodriguez, and as shit. And just speaking to those dudes is the way that I can speak and just be freely. And I went to him. I said,
Yep,
look, man, look, David, we worked together before. We worked together at LA Canines, but this is something different. Me and you, we worked together as employees before, but
yeah,
now I have this organization. I said, look, I can't talk to a Hispanic kid about race, about their culture,
yeah,
about their food, about any of these things. Me doing that will be doing what all these other organizations are doing and causing them to fail. It's trying
yeah,
to talk to a specific group of people about some shit that I don't know about. Even if I did know about it, it ain't my business to be doing that because the delivery will be just taken
yeah,
completely differently.
yeah,
So I said, bro, I need you guys. And he was like, you're right.
yeah.
You're right. That's like David right now, man. I got this little young dude over here, whoop, 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 whoop. You know, and I don't know how to talk to him. He got these dreads. He be talking about some bruh and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Talking about taking the M&Ms to get some soul food. I don't even go over there, man. Shit, the hell? It's that. It's just sometimes it's just a clash of cultural understanding, and then being in certain areas, you already have that racial biasness.
Yeah.
So if we have every bit of the hand, we have the hand here. Vix represents the English. Did I say it right? English.
English, British.
Vix representing that. You got the Hispanics, David Galaviz. You got myself, African Americans. I got a couple Asian folks that I messed with. So you bring it all together. We got one stew in the pot, all the way down to the graduation. When we have our graduation, it's gonna be a clash of cultures.
Right.
We might have some fried chicken tacos up in that motherfucker. What? Just think about that. Fried chicken taco. I'm
Well,
on this.
awesome.
But that's just that's the whole plan. That's how we're doing it. And then it's transpiring outside. So this is a trifold type of thing. So Vic, you remember when we had that meeting at the empty lot with a certain
Yeah.
the certain CEO? I'm not gonna say that on here. I'm not gonna say who this CEO is, but Vic's been in some meetings with some people. Just say that. And so as we started to put the pieces to the puzzle and how we're going to do this and build this wonderful recipe, one of the
Exactly.
main things that the CEO had when they came and spoke to us was this: say, yo, all this stuff that you guys have going on is beautiful. I would love to help. I would love to help. And it's where that slice of humble pie
Mm-hmm.
was served. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that slice of humble pie needs to be served to the entire animal welfare community who's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, what about us? Money, money, money. And what he did was say this: wonderful, great ideas. But what about the people?
Yeah.
He said, if you had kids here, if you had adults, you had some type of something that had to do with people, you would have the funding. But
Yeah.
you just can't make this about animals and think that we're going to just cough up all this money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you go back and you sit at the drawing board like, what the like? And I thought I was mad at first, like, what? Like, I mean, twisted. Then I thought about it like, it's everything that you've been saying, Didontae. It's what you've been saying the entire time. We've neglected the humans and just made it completely about the animals. But in order to get to the animals, you got to go through a human.
Yeah. Because the humans that look after the animals.
Exactly. Exactly. So we're at the stage right now. That's who was messaged me earlier. That was the Mr. CEO. And I was just messaging him like, hey man, update. So you told me to go ahead and get the program created. Well, I got the program created. And this isn't a 6 month process. This isn't a year process. This been like what, 2.5?
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, you just looked off to the side like, damn.
A lot's happened since then. Like my
Once you get to thinking about it, you like, damn. And that's where that if you can talk to yourself for 3 or 4 years
Mm-hmm.
and keep up the same sentence every day,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. And then after about 6 months, and you got past the 50%, because 50% is still failing.
Yeah.
50% of you wavering back and forth of whether you're going to do it or not. 50% is you still in the stage of asking people, hey, have you did this? Have you did this? And the people that you asked, you looked up to for so long.
Yeah.
But now you surpassed them because they're
Yeah.
telling you like, yo, bro, you talking about some shit that I ain't even dealing with. Like
Yeah.
you dealing with some federal government type stuff.
Yeah.
But if that's the channel or that's the route that I had to take, then that's what it is. If I could build a rescue and do a prison program by just training dogs, I would do that.
But you need
If I could
people.
have a reentry off just doing it, then I would do it. But that's not the case. You have to really go above and beyond.
You do.
Next plan is this. The next thing, because I know you're going to ask me, you have to ask the question about what are we doing with the dogs? We made the dogs the final thing on here instead of it being,
Right.
the dogs the first. But yeah, we had to go through the people stuff first. We have our pitch deck, and we're going to be building our relationship with the Department of Children and Family Services.
Love that.
So we're going to bridge a gap with the Department of Children and Family Services. We already have our relationship established with the Department of Probation. We attend the town hall meetings, and we're going to do the ramp, a 9-week ramp project. And within the ramp project, we're going to go through a way to boost up the business and expand our capacity. And that capacity is that stuff that I was telling you about with the UEI number. They're like, well, if you're
Yeah.
able to take
Yeah.
this, hearing me and Vic talk like we normal people now that like we got a 9 to 5 and we wear ties. But when I be talking to her about the capacity, like, look, Vic, this capacity shit, right? It's like dope. I got these bricks. of this dog shit, right? If you got enough to take it and you can sell it, I'm gonna sell it to you. Vix, don't even trip. So that's basically, but that type of talking vernacular, I would use that in the classroom
Mm-hmm.
because that's something for me and my students to be able to correlate. Like, look, man, this shit is so simple. It's like selling drugs, not promoting selling drugs, but it's like selling drugs. I have this amount of quantity. The federal government is the big dog. That's Jefe. That's your Escobar. He telling you, look, I got this stuff. I can move over here. Do you got a warehouse where I can ship this to? Do you got something I could do this? Like that's how I play it. She laughing. I'm serious as hell. So you talking to big dog, but the federal government that's Jefe, that's cartel. You Freeway Rick. You the plug over here in the land. So you got to figure out how you gonna do this, how you gonna distribute all this stuff because they're not gonna give it to
Right.
you if you can't distribute it. So if I got somebody saying, hey, I'm gonna give you a certain million amount of dollars to open up a reentry. And let's do this with somebody. Like, hey, yo, if I gave you a certain amount of money, what would you do with it to start a reentry?
Yeah.
Like, if I gave you a certain amount of money to build something, just ask people these things.
Yeah.
And then ask somebody who's already in that field and they'll be able to pinpoint tell you these things. So when you ask somebody, the first thing they would say was, well, I will buy this, I will buy that, I will buy that.
Yeah.
No, that's not how that goes. No, not how that goes at all. No. It's like, what do I do? You sit down and you say, all right, well, the federal government saying, I'm going to give you this surplus and I'm going to provide you with a capacity and a volume of things, XXX, because you meet the code. You got a NIC code, you got gauge codes, and you have a unique identity. So you're able to do business with the Department of Defense. So they're going to say, what are you able to do? It's not just get the money and open up a rescue. No, it's get the money and provide economic uprising. You're not taking over anything. You're just providing jobs. You're not making anything new. You're just doing the shit that was supposed to be done already that nobody ever does.
Yeah.
Within that, I'm going to build a rescue, but I'm going to subcontract the plumber. I'm going to subcontract the architect. I'm going to subcontract the person that does electricity. I'm going to subcontract the painters for the streets. I'm going to subcontract the asphalt layers. I'm going to subcontract all these people involved.
And
But
that's
within
how
that,
you give back to the community.
exactly, in one big ass thing.
I love that. Now our time is about to run out.
I know.
Before we finish, what do you
Dog
want to
training.
on? Yeah, dog training. Let's like quickly, if we've got like 4 minutes left.
All right, dog training, people. Dog training. Some of the most simple things that I have to give out advice on dog training. Is this advice to dog trainers? I'll give advice to. Well, I can't give advice to dog trainers because they don't listen anyway. Big egos. So I give it to people with dog people. Huh?
What's your biggest tidbit to give to somebody on dog training?
Keep it simple.
Yes.
Don't overdo it. Learn how to read the dog. Sit, stay down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sit,
I'm
stay down.
so glad you said sit. In my head, I'm like, what? Sit, stay down. Obedience. Sit, stay down.
Sit, stay down. Obedience.
Yeah.
Obedience. If you have a puppy, start them off small. When you started off small, it's just like what we did with your dogs. The same thing
Mhm.
we did with your dogs is actually puppy stuff because it's building, then creating boundaries and what you can and can't not do. And once you establish what you can and can't not do, then we go into manage mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like artwork. When you start the artwork and you're drawing a portrait, that shit is ugly as hell. It's
Yeah.
ugly. It's just like it's just like if people seen a split image of Blakey in the birth room to Blakey now. That's the rough part of it. You're molding and doing all that. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? And then just understanding how to maneuver with a dog
Yeah.
and know when something is too much. Don't take on something that can end your career. All it takes is one bite.
Yep.
That's all it takes is one bite. The word no means so much.
Yeah. I love that. Well,
And that's
thank
it.
you.
Yes, ma'am. I know I've been on here for a while.
And I want to get you back on and we'll talk more about once you've been in and how the program's going. But
Bet.
thank you for coming. And no doubt
Yes,
I'll be
ma'am.
with you for another 2 hours next week because we're always on the
It's
phone.
all good. It's all good. All
I
righty. Have a
talk to
good
you
one.
on the phone longer than I talk to my husband.
Because he lived with you. That's why.
Thank you for coming, and I
Yes,
will
ma'am.
we'll definitely get you back. But we really appreciate everything you do for us.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one, Vix. You too. All right,
You too.
bye.
You've been listening to a Dogs Train Home podcast, where every story reminds us that second chances are real.